Hey, my little guinea pigs. I've been spending the past day or two listening to microphones, wasting my time. And to no surprise, the Neumann TL103 microphones that I have sound better than just about everything on the market. You know? These microphones are super transparent and clear and articulate and amazing sounding. And there's the Neumann TLM67 and the Neumann U87AI that I'm kind of interested in out of pure boredom. The TLM67 is almost like the Shure SM7B of Neumann condenser microphones. It's very flat. It rolls off the air frequencies above 10 kilohertz. It sounds kind of almost dark. It's definitely darker than most microphones in the Neumann catalog. It's very, very flat, and it rolls off the highs. And just about everything else is a little bit brighter, more boosted in the highs for a bright, open, clear, more articulate sound. So it's almost like the microphone to go for if you want a upgrade from the Shure SM7B, if you want kind of that darker, more boring, rolled off sound. And then you have the U87, which it's just a little bit more boosted in the highs, a little bit more open and clear, detailed sounding. A little bit warmer because it doesn't roll off the fundamental frequencies like the TLM67 also does. It's more flat in the fundamental lows instead of rolling off, which kind of thins out the voice. But these two microphones that I have here are ultra low self noise. They're reasonably priced, a little bit over $1,000. Once you get the TLM67, it's a couple $1,000. U87, couple triple $1,000. $3,000 instead of $2,000. So you progressively, like both of these microphones, you could get a TLM67 for instead. So my little skibbity dibbity schwiggity doos. I need to quit listening to poor people microphones like the Electro Voice RE20, the SM7B. Those broadcasting dynamics, they're just always going to sound colored and hissy. And there are so many other types of microphones out there that just don't matter because they're not Neumanns. Yeah, boys. They just don't have that end game smoothness and quality. So I've been wasting my time listening to microphones. And I do prefer the bright, open, clear. I do honestly. I've tried so many times to get myself to buy a U87AI. And quite frankly, I come to the conclusion that although I like the sound of it, I don't 100% like the sound of it. So I always never actually pulled the trigger and buy a U87AI. And then the TLM67 just sounds too flat, too rolled off, too dark or dull. It's not dark per se, but it does roll off the highs, and it does sound kind of lifeless and dull. It doesn't have that open, detailed, articulate, clear sound like the TLM103s that I go for. Same with the headphones. I like a bright, open, clear sound because I think that sounds the most flattering, the most lifelike and stuff. And a flat mic like a TLM67, again, it rolls off the high, so it's not technically flat. But I feel like rationally, I wouldn't enjoy that sound. But I do think that that's where I should be looking if I want to find quality. I was listening to like the AKG C414 XLS, and it's just not smooth enough, transparent enough. And even Podcastage, there's a video where he compares the XL2 and the XLS, and he says, again, they're not as smooth, they're not as good as some of the more vintage ones. And it's true, they're lumpier, they're more colored. So my little skibbities, my little dibbities, I've looked at everything, and I do think that that's the direction that you want to be in. Flat mids, flat bass, and a smooth open treble. or in the TLM67 case, a rolled off treble. And you want it large diaphragm side address. You want it Neumann brand. Can't believe I'm saying that, but you do want your microphone to be Neumann brand. Because these other brands, they just can't keep up. They just don't have the quality. Rode definitely doesn't. Now, there are some small diaphragm condensers that are kind of sort of... I don't even want to humor that trash. So I do think I have the end game microphones, my dudes, but out of boredom, I am looking at the TLM67 and the U87AI. But honestly, I already have the best end-game microphones, my little skibbity schwiggity schwiggity schwooze. But I just wanted to talk about how I've been wasting my time listening to microphones that sound tonality-wise bad, that I'll never actually like. So it's a complete waste of time, yeah, boys.